As we get older and become harder to hear, we tend to say that we are less involved with others. Furthermore, when the relationship with others decreases, it goes up to a terrifying probability. What is it? Many problems such as cognitive decline and depression have been reported as disadvantages caused by deafness, which is a familiar problem for the elderly. This time, we will introduce the deafness of the elderly and relationship with people. The connection between individuals who belong to a certain society, such as family, friends, and colleagues, is called a social network. Social networks are closely related to an individual's mental health and well-being. The number of people in a social network with whom we have a relationship is called the network size, but a small network size affects cognitive decline, the onset of heart disease and stroke, and even mortality. There is a report that, in other words, it is presumed that relationships with people have a great effect on physical and mental health. So is there a relationship between deafness in the elderly and relationship with people? We examined the relationship between the presence or absence of deafness and social networks. As a result, it was found that people with deafness have a smaller total number of individuals and individual connections belonging to a certain society than people without deafness. Furthermore, looking at the relationships, the number of family members relatives entered was almost the same regardless of the presence or absence of deafness. Whereas for those who are not family members relatives, the number was entered if there was deafness. I found that the number of people was small. There is no difference in the number of family members relatives entered depending on the presence or absence of deafness. But the number of persons other than family members relatives entered is small when there is deafness. If you have deafness, the total number of people is small. Also, looking at the number of people according to the degree of familiarity, there was no difference in the number of people, indicating that the psychological distance was closer depending on the presence or absence of deafness. However, when I had deafness, I found that the number of friends and colleagues was small. From this result, it is clear that the size of the social network is small, that is, the number of people with whom we have a relationship is small when there is deafness, and that the number of people who are particularly far from the psychological distance and who are not involved with other than family and relatives is small. Have become. Further research is desired to maintain a network size through prevention and early detection of deafness, introduction of hearing aids, etc., and to realize a prosperous daily life in which elderly people continue to interact with people.